Hi guys, welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I am here today with my guest, comedian and fitness instructor, and physical trainer, Patwell. Why did I just blank on that?
I'm a physical trainer.
Wait, what are they called? Why couldn't I think of it?
Personal trainer?
Personal trainer. Why did I just say physical trainer?
I mean, that's correct. I am a physical trainer, you know? You're not wrong. I kind of like that better, actually. I'm a physical.
Sometimes I'm like really stressed, like trying to I don't know. I like blank out during the introductions and I make it like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, hello. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Stasia, you have been saving my life in this quarantine in many different ways.
Aw, that's sweet.
You have been. I mean, okay, so immediately let's get into like the workout stuff because that's like what comes to my mind first.
Yeah, okay.
So you have a personal training background.
Yeah, I taught spin. Is this okay? Okay. Yeah. I taught spin for like 5 years. And then this year I started personal training just so I could like not wait tables anymore, but also I don't know. I love it. I love teaching. And it was like really starting to do well, like right before, of course, quarantine hit. And then I was like, I had a couple of people who were like, you should teach a Zoom class. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, like it just sounds like that's going to be a nightmare. Like, how is that going to work, But I had like a couple of clients who'd like already paid for class for like sessions and stuff. And after a few days of quarantine, I was like, dude, if I don't teach a class, like I need to hold myself accountable. You know what I mean? Because like just because I do this for a living doesn't mean that like fitness is my whole life and I just like want to work out all day. Like I still have to like make myself do it when I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and especially like when you're just like lounging around the house all day, it can be hard to find the motivate. Like, why would you get up when you have 400 more episodes of Walking Dead to watch? I mean,
the accountability is like the hugest thing, I feel like, because if I was going to be working out on my own, doing like 3 sets of like 3 different,
circuits,
like it's hard to like stay through that because like oftentimes if I was left up to myself doing it alone, like I would quit after 2.
Yeah.
I went after 2 reps or whatever. So like having other people, having someone talk you through it, like it's incredible like how much that really makes a difference.
Yeah, because it's so easy to be like, you know what, I've worked really hard. Like I probably need a break. Like it's so easy to find an excuse. Like, you know what, I'm actually really sore. Oh, you know what, it's actually really important that I go check my mail. You know what I mean? Like you can just come up with your brain is such a genius at coming up with excuses of why you should stop early or not do it at all,
Yeah, so, even like not really taking breaks, like how you have everyone like keep going through everything. Like, because like oftentimes if I was by myself at the gym, I would just be like on my phone and I wouldn't be like I like sweat in your class and like sometimes I'm not always sweating and I feel like it's because I'm taking too much like rest in between.
Yeah. And also like, I mean, I don't know. We're artists, so we're so like unstructured, we're just so like, like I need someone to tell me what to do and when to do. Like I work well when someone's like, no bitch, do this, So really for me, like the way I coach is just like, I talk to you guys the way I know that I need to be. Like everything I say to you, I'm saying to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I just like hope that it translates and like it's relatable. And I think it is because, like I think a lot of coaches are so like, it's like not accessible the way they are, because it's like, well, I'm not like weighing all my food and I'm not working out 3 hours a day. Like, it's annoying sometimes when you're like, okay, it's easy for you to do all that, but so for me, it's like, it's important to be relatable, so people know that it's not like, I'm just like, yay, working out is so awesome all the time. Like, cause it's not, it fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work out all the time, but I do because I'd rather go through that pain of like making myself work out than always be living in a body where I just don't feel comfortable. Like that pain is greater to me than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love like how you touch on how how like a lot of this, like we're just gonna have negative thoughts while we're working out, and that
Yeah.
will pass, and that you can say observe it. Like, can you just kind of explain that to the listener, the kind of stuff that you talk about?
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is like, I know you're into Abraham Hicks, and like
Yeah.
I'm so into Abraham Hicks, and it's,
Wait, have you listened to Abraham Hicks during quarantine?
yeah. Oh, like her new ones?
Just no at all.
A little, not as
I
much.
haven't once.
Isn't that funny? Like when we need it the most, we're just like, you know,
No.
I know. It's funny how like, you know what to do to make yourself feel better, but then you're just like, no, like why?
It's like torturing yourself. I don't know if that's like an alcoholic trait, but like
Yeah.
but like it's like sometimes I'd rather torture myself until like the very last moment, because it's like it almost feels good.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, we're used to that. That's like comfortable for us to like be in a state of like self-loathing. It's like, ooh, this feels good. Like I want to kill myself. I was feeling way too good there for a second. Like, yeah, for me, it's like it's so normal for all of us to be like the second, especially it doesn't matter if you like haven't worked out in years, and my workout is the first workout you do. Obviously, immediately you're going to be like, oh my God, this hurts. Oh my God, what did I get myself into? Maybe I should stop. I probably can't handle this. Oh, this is too hard. I mean, immediately your head is going to start going like that. And that's totally normal because you're making your body uncomfortable. And when your body gets uncomfortable, your brain is like, oh my God, like, is she okay? Like we need to protect her. Like your body just wants to protect, your brain just wants to protect you at all times from any sort of stress. So when you start putting your body into stress, your brain is like, well, let's make this stop, you know? So you literally have to talk to your brain like it's a friend, you know, and be like, I get it. Like you're freaking out. I know. Thank you. Thank you for having my back, but I don't need you right now. Like my body can, like our bodies can handle this. Like our bodies are strong. Like your body will just stop. Like when you've had too much, it will just stop. And none of us get anywhere close to that in life. You know what I mean? Like we're not running away from lions and tigers. We're not in the fucking desert. Like our lives are so easy for our bodies now, you know? So you don't really have to worry about like, my body can't handle this. Like it can. It's your brain that's being a little bitch, you know? But like even those negative thoughts, like even I still get them, and I'm doing that workout every day, right? But even I still will be like, like, this doesn't feel good. Like I don't feel like doing this. Like I'm not being funny today. They don't like me today. Like I go through that too. So it's just like, okay, well, if I'm thinking this, for sure they're all thinking some version of this, you know? So I feel like you just have to call it out right away. You just have to remind people like, yeah, it's normal that you want to quit right now. Why would it? Of course you do, you know, but it's not like I have some magical power. It's just that I keep finding my willingness over and over again to just do it, even though I don't want to.
I like that you also talk about observing the thought and like watching it go by. That's like something you often hear about in meditation.
Yeah.
Just like the idea that you're not really going to engage with it because it's almost like engaging with crazy.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's, you know, I've been like I've gone through horrible, I mean, I've had like bad depression my whole life. And I'm an alcoholic, you know, sober alcoholic. And I mean, I've gone through really horrible bouts of suicidal depression, like bad, you know, and I had to do a lot of work to be able to like be here and function. And like, for me, it's like, it's so important to learn that you aren't your thoughts. And that's like a very crazy concept if you're like not used to, like I have to brainwash myself like every day. You know what I mean? Because my default is just like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm never going to make it. Like, why am I even trying? Nobody likes me. Like, why would I even fucking get, that is my default. Like, if I don't do anything. So every day I have to like brainwash myself.
And is that through affirmations? Is that through like listening to Abraham Hicks? Like, what do you do to brainwash yourself?
It's all, I mean, it's like a bunch of different things. One, I am medicated.
Through like the kind of stuff that you do to like tell me what you do on a daily basis, like the stuff that's kind of required of you spiritually. Yeah. And then also tell me like as a second part, if you're like in a bad place, what you do to bring yourself out.
Okay.
Because it might be a similar thing, but.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so not even counting like the AA stuff, which I have to do, obviously, like let's pretend that's not even part of the equation because that just like adds a bunch of other shit on. But like for me, just to get to kind of like a base, like, okay level, when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is drink a liter of water, which sounds like whatever. Why would that? Yeah, hell yeah. It is like, if you change nothing, but you start drinking a liter of water before you have your coffee in the morning, like first thing in the morning, it will change your life.
How long have you been doing that?
A few years.
Wow. And you can really drink a full liter right before?
Yeah. And you kind of have to work up to it, because it's like a lot if you're not used to it. And it's not like you just have to like pound it, like. But I've gotten to the point now where like I crave it, and like there is no way I will take a sip of coffee before I drink water. Like my boyfriend tried to bring me coffee today in bed, like I don't know if he was like being cute, and I'm like, what do you do? I'm not gonna drink that until I have you know what I mean? Now it's just gonna be fucking cold. So really, you just pissed me off.
A lot of people don't realize how dehydrated your body is also when it wakes up. So if you have coffee before you have water, you're just dehydrating your body further.
Yep. Yeah.
Cameron Diaz, I recently read a thing. She was like, when I drink water in the morning, I feel like a wilted flower coming back to life.
That's totally right. And like, and so if we're all pretty much chronically dehydrated, and after like a night of not drinking, you need to wet your body. We're 70% water. And if on top of it, if you're like trying to lose weight or whatever, it is so important to be hydrated because you have to keep all that digestion like wet and moving, because if you're dehydrated, all those like years of just eating shit food, it just like globs on to the inside of your colon.
Ew, yeah, you need to like pass that shit through.
Yeah, you have to flush it all through. So like you only really lose weight when you start like shitting a lot, you know what I mean? And if you can't really shit, if you don't drink water, you're going to be constipated. So it's just so important on so many levels to drink water. And then every day I have to meditate. I have to. Like when I don't, I'm just not as cool. I'm just not as cool. Because when and I only do it for 10 minutes. It's not like I'm fucking for 40 minutes. I do it for 10 minutes. Sometimes, like today, I did it for 2 different times for 10 minutes because I was like in such a bad mood that I was like, okay, I need to like go back into the vortex. And like, for me, it feels like a brain shower, because you just kind of, you like tap into like the blanket, like the universal blanket, and what it's done for me is it's made me a lot less fearful of like what outcome is going to happen. Like I kind of don't care anymore if something works out the way I want it to work out. Cause it's like, I use the mantra. So I use the Insight Timer app and I put it on for 10 minutes to like monks chanting. And then in my head, I just say over and over again, the universe supports me. The universe supports me. The universe supports me. And so what that does for me is just makes me start to just feel like no matter what happens, things are happening for me, not to me. And so then it kind of eliminates being scared that I'm going to fuck up, or like I'm not doing something right. And what I found is I feel like it makes it to where I have to make far fewer decisions. Like things that are good for me just kind of come. And then things that are not good for me, or people that are not good for me, just kind of go. And I almost don't even have to do anything but like show up, you know?
I had this guy on my podcast, Joshua P. Warren, who wrote a book on the law of attraction. And every single day when he wakes up, he says, I live in a friendly, supportive universe that loves me, wants me to be happy and succeed. And then he like I wrote it down and I put it in my bedroom. So I like look over that and like read that. And it's kind of just like, because I think a lot of people will like believe that the universe, like everything happens to me, and people get stuck in like a victim mentality. Yeah. But when you like make that kind of like agreement and partnership and understand that the universe is supporting you, like you're attracting like much more positivity into your life.
Yeah, and then it's not like nothing bad. Like shit does happen, but then like when shit happens, you can just be like, you can stay cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you can just react less, you know, like you don't have to like everything, but you can still like find acceptance and like be like, okay, this happened. Okay. You know, instead of like, I lose my mind. And I have like all over my house, I have affirmations, you know, like right in front of me. I said, you get what you think about. And then in my whiteboard, it always says miracles are happening. Just things like that where I can like and so then when I wake up in the morning and I'm like getting ready and drinking my coffee, I usually just put on Abraham Hicks on YouTube and like listen to like 20, like while I get ready, it's just like in the background. So I'm just like, like bombarding my brain with like a positive message. And it's not
cool how much better it makes you feel too. Listen.
Crazy. And here's the thing, even if it's for people who don't know what it is, like, and you try to describe it, it's like, oh, okay, like you're insane. And maybe she is, who knows? But even if it is a scam, even if she isn't like really channeling a non-physical entity, whatever, the message is so good that it's like, there's no point in even caring whether or not it's real or not. Because it's like, and that's where I get like during my workout when I'm always like, okay, we know this sucks. I know this hurts. Next thought. It just gets you into the practice of choosing your thought, like to where, and at first it's like so hard to do that because you're like, what are you talking about? I'm not choosing my thoughts. They just come in. But it's like, if you have a thought, like, I don't know, like, dude, everything in my life sucks, you know? And it's like the way she does it is like, you know, just find like one, it doesn't, you don't have to go from like everything sucks to I'm like Pollyanna so happy. Like you could just take little increments, like, okay, everything in my life does not suck. Like, okay, like actually I have a healthy body, you know, and that thought just like feels better to think, right? Like, so it's just practicing choosing thoughts that like feel a little better than you being like, I'm a piece of shit. So it's like, okay, well, actually I'm happy that my body works well enough to where I can work out every day. And then it's like, you know, okay, well, I actually am really grateful that I have this apartment to myself, you know, and it's just like, and they did some sort of scientific experiment. I don't really know how, where, whatever, but you cannot be in gratitude and be in fear at the same time. Like the different parts of your brain can't light up at the same time. So if you're like talking so much shit to yourself, but you make yourself stop and just be like, okay, what am I grateful for? You're literally just training your brain to just fucking shut up. You know, and for me, it's all about like reining in my brain because I want to go to the darkness right away, naturally, you know? And, you know, at first I was like, when I first got into all this stuff, there was part of me that was like, oh my God, like when I got sober and like started getting into all this, like, you know, spiritual stuff, it's like, oh man, like I'm not going to be funny anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be so happy. I'm just like, not going to be like, how can you be spiritual and be funny? Like, that's not funny to just be like, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not like you're going to you already have all that darkness and all those horror, like you already have, that's not going anywhere. You already have that inside of you, you know? So I feel like a lot of times I've been worried about like losing my edge, and it's like that's not real. Like you're never gonna lose your edge because it's just a part of your past, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I do?
How do you drink your coffee?
Almond milk and cinnamon.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, and I only drink Black Gold from Groundworks. It's the fucking best. I like my coffee like mud.
Really?
I like it so dark, dude.
Okay.
Dark. Oh, so good. I drink a lot of coffee too. I know there's some
Really?
people.
How much coffee do you drink?
I probably have like 2.5 cups. I guess that's not that much. I mean,
yeah. I had a cold brew like latte this morning and then an espresso shot in the afternoon.
It's not bad, but it makes me happy, and it's like, you know, I know people are like, some people are so like caffeine, but you know what? Fuck it. I've given everything else up.
Yeah, I need it to get shit done.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
And I just did I used to have a bunch of different trampolines, and I just got a new one, and that, dude, if you can afford to get yourself a trampoline, yeah, it is life-changing.
Wait, did it say after you taught 2 workout classes?
I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it in a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel, I'm not doing it to like work up a sweat. I'm just doing it to feel good. And then you're like, oh, I'm like breaking a sweat a little bit. But it's so, you cannot like not smile when you do it. Like immediately, and you're just like, it feels good. Like it just feels, it's fun. You know what I mean? Because you feel like a kid. And it drains your lymphatic system, which is like the body's garbage can, you know? So, and it's hot. And a lot of us aren't draining that because we're not exercising enough, or you can drain it through massage too. So this thing is it's like a miracle. It's so good for your joints. It's like no impact. And dude, if everyone could have a trampoline, it would like change everybody's, even if you did it for 10 minutes a day, it like changes your entire everything.
So do you do anything else besides all that stuff to like set yourself up, or is that generally, I mean, that's still a lot of stuff. Just curious.
I mean, so like AA meetings, obviously. And then a lot of times I say the 3rd step prayer to myself, like over and over again. Like whenever I start to feel some type of way that is like not correct, like I'll say the 3rd step prayer in my head over and over again, which is basically just saying like, you know, I don't know what's right for me. Show me the way so that I do what's right. You know what I mean? It's basically just giving up my, I don't know.
Relieving yourself of the
relieving myself of the bondage of
Sorry,
I don't remember. I say it every day.
I know. I was like bonded boundaries.
Yeah. And then I also, even just like when I wake up, I try to be like, or when I go to bed, I always try to just like in my head, just be like, thank you.
I read Oprah when she wakes up in the morning, she says, thank you out loud. The bitch knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. And that bitch should be thankful. Okay.
I follow her. I saw it the other day. She posted, like, does anyone have trouble putting the duvet cover on? It's like, bitch, you don't make your bed.
Like, that's so cute. That
I know. I was like,
I'm just like you.
What do you eat before a workout to get energy? Or like, can you suggest if like someone has low energy, how they can like show it for workout? Or do you think it's really just like the mind?
I don't usually eat before I work out. Well, depends what time I'm working out. Like, so we work out at 12. So I usually wake up at like 9.
Yeah.
I'll have I usually don't eat before our workout. Sometimes I'll have, today I had like these little frozen keto waffles by Bird Splendors. I mean, I'll eat something small sometimes, or some like gluten-free toast with peanut butter, something like that, or a banana, something like that. Just nothing too, I don't have like big breakfast, but I do love breakfast, and I like to have sweet things in the morning, which I'm not like a crazy, like, I'm not a nutrition. I mean, I know a lot about nutrition, but I'm not a real stickler on that shit, because I find when I get like that, I get too neurotic and crazy and anorexic.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. And I was anorexic in high school, so I always have like a fear about like restricting and being too crazy with diet because I feel like it's like a slippery slope to get back into that. So like what I do is I try to like move my body like every day if I can, you know, exercise, wash my portions, make sure I'm eating like salads, but I definitely like cheat like all the time. Like I ate pizza after our workout today with like some salad.
But did you enjoy it? I mean,
so good. I didn't feel bad because it was my first time having pizza in 2 months. Whoa. Like we got a pizza last night and we had leftover and there were like small little squares and like it was really good.
Pizza's the best.
Huh?
Cold pizza for breakfast is the best.
It was so good. I had it after the workout because I was like, I deserve it. I'm gonna go on a walk later. So it's like I'm trying to like do a Zoom workout every day or go on a workout and or do both.
I mean, I just feel like
go on a walk, not a workout.
Yeah, like I've spent so much time like restricting entire food groups and like or eating something and like feeling so bad about it and being like, I have to do 3 spin classes. You know, it's like that's no way to live. 1. And 2, all you're doing is stressing out your body. And when you stress your body out, you release cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which makes your fat cling to your body because your fat is there to protect you. So when you're in a state of stress, you're not going to lose weight. So for me, like if I eat, like I had pizza yesterday and the whole time I'm not like, oh my God, I can't even believe I'm such a piece of shit. Like instead I'm just like, this is fucking good, dude. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Be like, and it's a practice, you know, it doesn't always happen naturally. Like I still sometimes am like, oh my God, really? Am I really eating this? Like, but then I had to stop and I'm like, who cares? Like, if you want to get really metaphysical about, like Abraham will be like, you can eat anything as long as you're saying that this is good for me. You know, if you want to get real fucking metaphysical, we're all made out of the same shit. We're all just molecules. So if you're saying that something is bad for you, it's going to be bad for you. But if you're saying like, oh, this pizza is like feeding my body and it's making me feel good and I'm enjoying every single bite of it, like that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like fucking shove pizza in your face every day, all day, but like if you're, for me, that my body looks best when I'm chill. Mm-hmm. When I'm like, okay, I can, if I'm craving a fucking cookie, then I'll have a cookie.
Yeah. I'm about to bake a small batch of cookies after this.
Yeah. The other thing is like fucking anorexia. The anorexic look is not in anymore. So, I mean, that's just working in our favor right now, right? And it's like hard for us girls also who are like going through puberty in the 90s and shit because like the Calvin Klein anorexia thing was like so in, and like I've always had an ass and hips, and so I always felt like there was something wrong with me. So now that it's like ass and hips are cool, it's like my time to shine, you know. But it's not sexy to just be skin and bones. Like ask any guy, he'd rather a girl be 15 pounds overweight than 15 pounds underweight. Like
totally. I like what you also were saying when you talk to your fat.
Yeah, like I don't even remember where I learned this. It was a few years. I can't remember. I must have learned it somewhere because I don't necessarily think that I came up with it on my own. But I do tell people all the time. You have to talk to your body all the time. So like if you're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, I look so fat. Like I look like shit, dude. Why can I not fucking lose weight from that area? Like what is wrong? I look gross. Like your body's going to listen to you. That shit is not going anywhere. You're saying you're fat. Okay, well, then you're fat. But if you look at your fat and you're like, instead of hating on it, being like, thank you so much. I'm looking down at my thighs because that's where I carry my fat in my thighs. And I'll be like, thank you so much for protecting me. Thank you. I love you. That's so nice of you that you like are there to make sure I'm okay. I appreciate your services, but I'm no longer needing you right now. Like you can just fucking melt away. And like, it's just like a practice of changing the way you talk to yourself, because if you are like in a state of like calm and like love and like showing your body love, then the fat will melt away, you know, because it is there. Like the reason we have fat is to protect our organs, you know, it's to protect us from a famine or protect us from the fucking lions and tigers. It's to protect us. So like you're on the same team as your body. Like you shouldn't be fighting your body all the time, you know? You have to learn how to be like, okay, like my body has my back, you know?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't say that shit to your friend, you know? You wouldn't be like, oh, wow, you look that, your fucking thighs look fat as stew. You look shitty. You wouldn't say that to your friend, you know? So you shouldn't say it to yourself.
What else were you saying about how like in the middle of a workout, you'll often be like, yes, you're uncomfortable, but you're going to spend the rest of the day being comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, especially now. I mean, that's not necessarily true like during real life, but like in quarantine, it's like, but in just general in modern life, it's like our bodies are just can be in a constant state of comfort, homeostasis, whenever. Like you get hot, you put on the AC. You get cold, put on the heat, put on a sweater. You're tired, take a break, get under a blanket. You're hungry, have a little snack. Like you're thirsty, have bubbly water, you know, or any kind of water. Have alkaline water, have whatever you want. You know, it's like, we live in a time that is like unheard of for human beings. Like we can literally go through our lives with zero physical discomfort, you know, like we can just be constantly in a perfect state of homeostasis. So like, if you're going to work out and it's going to be hard and you're going to feel uncomfortable, like good, let your body feel uncomfortable. Our bodies are made to be uncomfortable all the time. Like if we were living in cave times, like you'd be cold, you'd be hot, you'd be exhausted, you'd be starving, you'd be thirsty. You're always going to be in like needing something. And now we're living in a time where we don't. So it's like, let your body get to that edge.
Yeah, like you can afford to be uncomfortable for a fucking hour.
That's right.
The rest of the day on the couch.
That's right. You spend the rest of the day masturbating if you want. It doesn't fucking matter. But like, when we let our bodies be comfortable all the time, it makes our minds weak. You know, it makes us weak. And that's why so many fucking men are little ass pussies right now. It's like, you need to keep your mind strong so that when the apocalypse does happen, like you're not a fucking little bitch. Like you need to be able, that's why sometimes when people are like, I was vegan for like 4 years, like hardcore, like I wouldn't eat like monoglyceride, you know, like hardcore annoying vegan. And one of the things I can't stand about that now is like when people are like, I'm a vegan, like, oh my God, if I have chicken broth, like in this, like I will be so sick for days. It's like, cool. So why are you teaching your body to not be able to handle anything? Mm-hmm. Why would you train your body to be weak? You know, you want to train your body to like, you can't handle a little chicken broth without fucking losing your shit, dude. Like that is not a survivor right there. Like those are not genes you want to pass down. You know, you want to pass down survivor genes. Like what happens when the fucking Walking Dead comes true and you have to live on fucking Spam for 3 years? Or you're gonna just be like with a tummy ache the whole time? No, you're gonna fucking use it and be strong and not be a little wuss, you know?
Yeah.
That's my thinking. Cause it's like, I'm just so sick of, and obviously I get it. You have an allergy. I'm not saying just fucking eat your way through your allergy. I'm just saying like, we don't have to be so precious about everything, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just a reflection of how like, we're so easily offended and precious about everything. It's just like, man up, dude. Mm-hmm. You know, chicken broth should not make you throw up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
were you always such a motivated, driven person? Because you're like really someone who, to me, like has their shit together. You are, you know?
I mean, that's very nice to hear. Of course, that's not how I feel, you know? Okay. I mean, of course, I always feel like.
But I feel like this, like, okay, in the quarantine, like immediately, like you had a class, you had a candle line, like you were like, what's up? Like, how did you kind of like, what were like the first couple weeks of the quarantine like for you? Like, did it take a moment for you to get into acceptance, or were you already like, let's do it?
No, I fucking I'm a homebody. Like, when this happened right away, I was like, oh my God, finally I have an excuse to stay home and I don't have FOMO. I don't have to feel guilty about it. Nobody's getting on stage. I don't have to drive. Like, I was in right away in heaven. Like, if I can be home, it's my favorite. Like, so right away I was like, oh, this is kind of great. Like, you know, my boyfriend's the opposite. He's like needs to be out nonstop. So for him, like, you know, he's always been good for me because he like forces me to get up when I don't want to go out, you know, when obviously it makes me feel good to be social, you know, and like as an alcoholic, I shouldn't be isolating all the time. But for me, I feel like I've been thriving during quarantine. Like, I was joking with my friend the other day, like, oh, I needed the rest of the world to just stop so I could like catch up and like.
You really are thriving. It seems like you just like are getting so much done, and you seem very motivated. Like, how do you keep yourself motivated? And you're motivating like a ton of other people on a daily basis.
That's sweet. That's nice. That makes me feel good. I mean, in terms of my class, like, I feel accountable now. Like, I have to show up, like, even though I didn't want to teach today at all. Like, I woke up, I was in a bad mood. Like, I didn't eat well yesterday. So I like didn't feel like, I just felt sluggish, you know, and like, I didn't want to teach, you know, but I was like, well, if I don't show up, like, there's a bunch of people who I know come every day and who have told me that this is their favorite part of the day. And if I don't show up, I'm like letting all those people down just because like I don't feel good. Like, you know, like it's not about me. You know what I mean? Like, it's
people a day go.
Yeah. What would you say?
Over 50 people a day go.
It's crazy. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It really is the best part of my day. Like, I look forward to it every single day. It's just like that thing that just like, I mean, I don't make it every single day, but I think I've been making it a lot. I make it a lot more now, and it's just like, it's just that, I don't know, I've talked about it with Nicole a bunch, who takes the class, and we're just like, it's just like that one thing in quarantine that like we look forward to, like the physical, the mental, the spiritual, like everything is there in that 1 hour. And I really feel the results. Like, I feel like I'm getting like so much more toned. I feel so much more confident about my body. Like, I'm walking around naked all the time.
Oh yeah.
Do you like, you were already like super in shape. Like, I can't even imagine that. Like, how does someone who's so in shape notice that they're getting even more in shape?
Well, I mean, I do the workout every day, but I also like, if I tell you to do 15 reps, a lot of times I'll do like 8 or 10. Mm-hmm. If I'm like I mean, you know what I mean? If I like all of a sudden I'm like, let me just give a lecture real quick, you know? Mm-hmm. So I probably am good. I'm probably giving it 60% of my effort, you know, as opposed to, so that I can make sure you guys are giving it 100, you know, because it is hard. So if I go 100, if I give it 110%, like, it's hard for me to pay attention to what you're doing. You know what I mean? Totally. I don't know. I mean, I feel the same as everyone. Sometimes I feel really good and sometimes I don't, mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I feel like that's just part of a woman and being a woman and like having a menstrual cycle. And like, sometimes I feel bloated and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I eat better. Sometimes I don't, you know, it's always changing, you know?
Yeah.
But it is nice to have like my boyfriend be like, you know, like, yeah, like I've definitely, it's all about consistency, right? So especially like before quarantine, like I have my own trainer and like I like lift really heavy with him, like really like, you know, doing like 400-pound leg presses, you know, like at Gold's Gym, like in the, like I like to do like the hardcore like bodybuilding basically. So it's like I have this, for people who like lift heavy weights and then you can't do it anymore, it's like this weird like craving to lift something heavy. So in some ways I've felt like I haven't been able to even work out the way that I want to work out, you know? Mm-hmm. But I can't even remember what you asked me. Whatever.
Either. But you also created a candle line. Did you have that right before, or
no? I was like looking.
I love that, by the way, and that was like too. And I was like, wait, where did she get a candle company from?
I don't know. I'm fucking crazy. Like,
I love it.
I was like bored one day, like looking for something to do. So I was like scrolling on Pinterest. Like I was like, what kind of arts and crafts can I buy at like Michael's to do? Like I wanted to create something, you know? And then I saw like some picture of this woman like making candles. And I was like, oh, candle. Like I love candles. Mm-hmm. And like I burn through them so fast. And I feel like I never have enough because they're so like nice ones are expensive, you know? Yeah. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just like go buy wax and go buy some like jars and like make candles. And then like the first candle I made, I sold.
Wait, so how does that work? You made one and then you're like, I could sell this.
So I call it It's Lit.
Amazing.
So this one is tobacco and rose smell blend. And
so how did you make that? Did you make that yourself?
Yeah.
How?
So I bought the wax.
Yeah.
And I bought the fragrance oils that I wanted to play with. And then I like played with mixing them to see like how much of each I wanted. And then I bought the jars and the wicks. And
how'd you print the name on
it? I printed labels online with Avery and like Avery labels or whatever. And they sent them to me.
Wait, but they look so professional. I'm surprised.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. This one is called Fresh Out, and it's grapefruit with cypress. So I kind of wanted like, it kind of had like a fucking prison guy undertone because I wanted them to be like cool for like guys and girls. So, and you know, I always loved the like prison guys. You know,
that was my thing for a very long time.
Oh, still my thing. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I kind of was into like the old English.
I like that.
And then Fresh Out kind of had like fresh out of jail / it's fresh out / it's a fresh smell.
Yeah.
And then Smoke Show for tobacco and rose was like.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like Smoke Show, but also like she's a smoke show. So it's like I wanted them to be good for men and women. You know, they're like girly and gangster. You know.
I love that.
Yeah. So. I don't know. So I got the stickers printed and then I bought like little boxes for them and now I'm selling them and it is weird.
Like it seems like you're pretty good at like deciding you want to do something and then following through with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm impulsive and sometimes that can work in my favor and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, do you ever sometimes like have an impulsive thought, you start doing something and then you're like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. All the time. Like I don't always follow through with everything, you know. I mean, I have a lot of ideas that just like never happen, you know. I mean, I think I'm impulsive with like shopping too, like with like online shop. Like that is not good for people like me, you know, because I'm like, oh, I need this. And it's like, do you really need?
I bought a lemon tablecloth on Wayfair the other day because I was like inspired by Italian Mediterranean vibes. Yeah. So I wanted to like, I really love like Positano and the Mediterranean and like I want to be in Italy this summer, but I was like, okay, so I'll get the lemon tablecloth.
Well, you need that. That sounds correct. I mean, I support that. Do you know my sister lives in Italy? And
I know. She's in Rome though, right?
Yeah, but they're actually buying a house on the Italian Riviera.
Oh, where?
Yeah. I forget the name. They're like looking. I forget the name.
Oh my God, that's amazing. How did she end up there?
Because she was living in New York and bartending in New York at this like burlesque bar.
Yeah.
And she always like dated older Italian men because we're Irish Italian. So she was like always just like into like the real Italians, you know?
Yeah.
And so she was dating this one guy, Carlo, whose family was from Bensonhurst.
Oh.
And they were like dating, but like having like a tumultuous relationship or whatever. And then this guy, Bruno, her husband now, started coming into the bar all the time. He was like real Italian, like from Milan, like full on Italian. And he's a professor of psychology. And he was like, started going in like all the time, which is like not a bar where you go all the time, you know? It's like bar is like weird to go in there all the time. And he was like going through a divorce and he would just sit at my sister's bar and he like asked her out, but she's like, I'm with Carlo, you know, whatever. And I think he kept like asking her out. And finally she like, went out with him and ended up leaving Carlo and like fully did. He's 52, dude. My sister's 33.
Oh my God.
And then he got a job in Italy and she was like, I'm coming. And then they got married pretty much so she could like work and teach English there. But like they were like, we're going to get married, but we'll revisit it in 2 years. Like if we want to stay married, awesome. If not, you have a way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but they're like perfect for each other. And she just had a baby New Year's Eve and his name is Oscar. And he's like the fucking cutest. And so now they're going to do like half New York, half Italy, but they're going to buy a house on the Italian Riviera and just be like a fucking cute little Italian family.
That's amazing. And your mom lives in Greece.
Yeah.
Where?
In Athens, like right near the Acropolis. It's kind of crazy.
Have you been?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I went to Mykonos and we were in Athens for like one night.
My mom lived in Mykonos in the 70s for 5 years.
Oh my God, that's so fun. I can't even imagine what it was like then.
Dude, the pictures and the story, I mean, it was so, because it was before it was like, it was always cool, but it was before it was like,
yeah,
you know, all just like American fucking Instagram models, you know, it was like really, dude, she had these hot ass Greek boyfriends. Dude, it's anyway, so she has like a love affair with Greece. So she lives there now. And I was hoping to go spend like a month there this summer, but I don't know now.
Yeah.
Like the airfare is so cheap. It's like $700 round trip to Greece right now.
That it's not lower?
No, for July, which is July the craziest.
Would be like 1,200 or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm surprised it's not even cheaper.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it will be. I don't know. But I'm like, I need to go see my nephew.
I know. I want to go to Europe too so badly. I'm like always craving to be in Europe.
I know. Your honeymoon pictures in Greece?
It was in Italy.
I mean, in Italy. Yeah.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I just want to like spend a month like at a villa and just like have just like a chill, beautiful life.
I mean, that would suit you.
I just feel really connected to Europe. And like when I'm in Europe, I'm like, this feels really right. Like I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I mean,
wow.
I'm like European, but like I just feel like I went to boarding school in Switzerland when I was 15.
Oh,
and like when I got there and when I was there, I was like, this is like so like, it just feels like so oddly like right for me. Like I really just crave to be in Europe. Like, I don't know.
Well, it feels just like real people. It's like real. You know, it's like here we're in such, especially in Hollywood, and
so
like
gross.
It's gross, dude. Like my sister will just like, I'll tell her stories and she's just like, how the fuck do you live? Like the weirdest thing when I was there last year is I was like, I have not seen one pair of fake tits or one pair of fake lips in like a month. Like this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back here and it's like, wow, this is actually not normal, I guess, you know? Because it's so easy to be here and be like, well, it's about time for me to get every single thing done on my face and body, you know? And then you go to like the rest of the world and it's like, no, people don't do that.
I know, except if you're in Brazil.
Right. I have not been there.
Neither have I, but I know everyone has like their ass done and their tits done and stuff.
I know. I would love to get tits. I'm not going to lie, but
really?
I won't ever do it because I'm completely philosophically against it, but I definitely.
But you have such a curvy body already.
Yeah, like, and I have no tits, which means the tits would look really good. But you know what? It's okay.
No, you have a great body.
Thanks. So do you.
You're doing just fine. And also what you're really good at is relationship stuff.
Oh, yeah? I mean, boyfriend would beg to differ, but.
Well, I've been checking in with you about, you know, fights that I've had with Steven, and I feel like you're just like a wealth of information. You've read a lot of these books. I'm reading one that you recommended right now, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I think I'm on like the 4th chapter. I'm reading it very slowly.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's crazy because it's like I am learning a lot, and it's just like stuff that like I don't think about. Like, you know, I would be in our apartment, you know, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and Steven will finish like his work day and he'll just be like on his phone, focused on his phone. But like what I didn't realize is he's like decompressing from work. He's not ignoring me. Like he's in his man cave, like, but he's next to me, which is nice. You know, he's not hiding from me.
Yeah.
But he's like, I didn't realize that he's like, but to me, I'm like, he's ignoring me. He's shutting me out. And it's like, I don't realize he just needs some space to like chill out.
I know. It's like, it's weird because it's so simple when you read it. Like, oh, but when you're experiencing it, it's like men and women truly are completely, our brains just work completely opposite. Like, because if I were to do the things that my boyfriend does towards me sometimes, it would mean that I hated him. You know what I mean? Like, if I were to like ignore or whatever I'm interpreting it as, it would be like, well, if I did that, it would mean I hated you. But when he's doing it, it doesn't mean that at all. It's like, it's just his way of like being in the world or decompressing, like you said, and it has nothing to do with me. But like, but women, like, we're so like, we just need to fucking talk about things nonstop. And like women, we do that with each other. You know what I mean? And so, and that's how we feel better, you know? So when a man is unable to do that or doesn't want to do that, we're just like, oh, cool, you just don't love me. Cool. Like, we're over, you know, like, oh, there's another woman 100%, you know? And it's like, no, they're just like, they're filtering through life in a completely different way. And
yeah,
that's
I'm learning.
Go ahead. No, go.
And I'm learning that, like, you know, like when I'm like explaining something to him and I'm talking, it looks like he's glazed over. And then he's like, I'm just wondering like what the point is. Am I in trouble? Where are you going with this? And like, I read that all in the book, and it's like, they said all of that in the book. Like, they just want you to get to the point. And all little details that girls feel like they have to mention, like, don't really matter.
No, at all.
And that you should save more emotional conversations for girls.
That's right. Like, your man, like, we live in this time where we think like our man has to like be our provider, has to like be perfect sexually, has to inspire us, has to like do all these things for us, which is like completely not, it's not realistic. And so then it's easy to just get disappointed when you should just be finding all of those things from like your girlfriends and having your man there for the man shit, you know? Like, he doesn't have to want to talk about his, you're never going to get from a man what you get from a woman. You're just not.
Yeah.
I think we like expect a lot of things from them that are just not like, it's just not going to happen. And it doesn't mean they don't love you. I mean, for me also, like, learning, I don't know if you were like researching all the like Rory Ray and like Helen Hart videos, like changing the way that I talk to him, like, and my feminine energy, like, you know, like, we're East Coast, like, we're like constantly in our masculine energy.
Yeah, I have masculine energy.
100%, me too. And like, we all have both, right? But like, especially for alpha females and like our generation, we've been taught by like the first women of the sexual revolution. You know, we've been taught that we have to be CEOs and we have to do everything. We have to be men and women, you know? So we're always going, getting, doing. We're always in our masculine energy. And then like a lot of us don't know how to step back and lean back when we're with the man. And like when a woman is in her masculine energy, when she's alone with her man, it is repulsive to them. It truly repels them. Like, it's like disgusting to them, you know? And so then a lot of these alpha women end up with these little bitch beta men who like, that's not what an alpha woman wants, you know? But you need a balance of energy. So if you're always in your masculine energy, then you need a guy who's in his feminine energy. But who the fuck wants that, you know? So you have to learn how to like lean back and be in your receptive feminine energy. And that's not weak, by the way. And it's not like, I think a lot of times we've been taught that like femininity equals weakness, which is, and that's like almost like what feminists have taught us, which is like so anti-feminist. Like, in order to really be a feminist, you should be celebrating that which makes us different which is our feminine energy. It's not weaker, it's just different, and we need it, you know? So a strong woman, that doesn't mean you're always in your masculine energy. It means you know how to balance both, and you are comfortable leaning back and letting the man come to you energetically.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
even this, like, I'll wait for him to touch me first.
Really?
It's crazy. Like, a small thing like that, you're allowing, like, men are hunters, you're allowing them to be in their natural state, you know? Or like when you're talking about, like, when you're fighting about something, you know, and like say he did something fucked up, which he probably did do something fucked up, but instead of being like, yo, when you did this, like, because we're taught like to, oh, let me talk about how I'm feeling. Or then we're taught like men don't want our feelings. They want our feelings, but they want our feelings on us. They don't want to feel like they did something wrong.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, I feel like you are ignoring me and like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we need to talk. Wow. His dick will shrivel up and go inside of him. But if you're like, I'm feeling a little neglected, I'm feeling like I really would like to connect. It's like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. And then you're like in this soft, receptive energy. And the men want to fuck that. Like the men want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're attracted to like masculine men, right?
Yeah.
So obviously men are going to be attracted to feminine women.
I was doing a couples therapy session last week and we were side by side and I was leaning forward like this talking and the therapist goes, Chelsea, can you just lean back? And I go, sorry. And I instantly knew what she was talking about. She was talking about my body language. Was like, I'm here. I'm like, what's up? Let's fight. And it's like, no, lay back and be receptive.
And you could feel it, right? You could feel when you do that, you just automatically feel like, okay, I don't have to fix everything.
Yeah.
Like and like men don't want suggestions.
I know. I want another example. The other day, he like was going to the bank and I gave him cash and I was like, can you get quarters for the laundry? And I just like had a feeling he was going to forget. I knew he was going to forget.
Yeah.
And the usual me was going to text him and say, don't forget the quarters.
Right.
But because I've been thinking about all this stuff and trying to like work in this area, I was like, I'm not going to tell him because it's going to feel like I'm his mother, like reminding him, I'm criticizing, I'm assuming he's stupid. So I didn't say anything. When he came home, I said, oh, did you get the quarters? And he said, fuck, I forgot. I'll go back out and get them. And I was like, great. And he went back out and got them. And like, it didn't have to be a fight. I wasn't like telling him what to do. I wasn't saying he was stupid. Like,
I know, it's crazy. Another thing that they say in that book that I've started doing too is he says that when you ask a man for a favor, they love to be asked favors because they love to be able to do something for you. But when you say can or could, like, can you do this? Can you do that? They're immediately like, yeah, obviously I can. Like, I don't want, but when you say, would you, will you, would you, all of a sudden he gets to choose that he wants to be the type of guy who would do that for you. Because you're not going, can you? Like, because immediately that's making him defensive. Like, obviously I can, but now I don't want to. But if you're just like, would you? Then they're like, yeah, I will do that.
Oh, it's making that decision for themselves.
Yes. Like, so I started doing that and I'm telling you, it's fucking nuts, the difference that
I'm
made.
doing it after this.
It's weird because you're like, how is making such a small, but it's just like, it's just learning how to relate to like an alien. Honestly, they're aliens.
You know, it was so funny the other night, your boyfriend was like making an Instagram video of you and you were just in your bed on the computer, literally couldn't even see your face. And I was like, she's so badass. Like, she doesn't even care what he's up to. You didn't look up once. And I was like, she's so gangster. And it's like, there's like that other element of like, you know, doing your own thing and like letting them come to you. Because like I can be, you know, Steven thinks that I'm needy because I'm like constantly looking at what he's doing. And then when I stop doing that and focus on what I'm doing, I feel him come to me. So it seems like you're with that already.
Well, also my boyfriend is like extra annoying. So like I'm like away, but can just go. But yeah, I mean, I feel it doesn't it feel better when they come to it just feels better too when you don't have to
Yeah,
instigate it.
it's like,
It's
I'm
like,
busy. Okay.
yeah. And then they're like, oh, like, but and then it's like that's so much hotter when you're just like, oh, and instead of like, it's just so much it feels so good as a woman to just have a man like, they're always saying like when like it's a right relationship, like you're not gonna have to do any work.
Mm.
Like you don't have to work, like he's gonna come. And if he's not coming, it's not your guy. But then there's another thing that Rory Ray talks about, like over functioning, which for sure we all do. Like we do the dishes, we take the trash out, we do this for them. And I do like doing things for him, but then when you stop doing that, you give him the opportunity to do something for you, which makes him feel good. Because when you're always doing something and getting everything done, he's like, well, what the fuck is the point of me being around? You don't need me. They want to feel needed, but not needed too much, but needed in order to like, not needed because you have nothing to do, but needed because he wants to help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you get him to do chores and not ask outright?
Well, like saying like, okay, say the kitchen is a mess, right? Just like saying this, like, oh, I feel so tired. I don't feel like doing the dishes. And then like, surprise, surprise, like he can be Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yeah, but you don't have to be like,
Right.
you're supposed to just say it and then be like,
Yeah. Like it has nothing to do with it. Like last night, Max said a bunch of stupid shit yesterday and he knew he fucked up like all day long. And he like, like I was saying, like I already said all that. Anyway, so he knew I was like not having him yesterday, because I was just like, I'm just like, don't even, ew, like I just, ugh. And so I was like laying in bed and like I was like putting on The Walking Dead and he's like, is there anything I can do to make you feel better? Like, what can I do? And I was like,
no.
Well, it'd be nice if those clothes were put away. 5 minutes later, it was done. And because I didn't say, can you put those clothes away? I was like, it'd make me feel really good if those clothes were put away. Like, I didn't even put you sentence. All you're saying is it would feel good to me because men need women in order to feel, like in order for them to get into their emotions, they need us to be comfortable with ours. They want to be inside of us physically and emotionally, like they want to be in us, So when you can be like in your body and in your emotions, they're just like, oh my God, I want that, So you always have to talk about what would feel good to you because all they want to do is make you feel good. Like that's one of the reasons why we broke up in the first place. He's like, I feel like I can never make you happy, But it's like not his job to make me happy. But if a man is always feeling like he can never make his woman happy, it's like a turnoff to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it still has to be his idea. So it's like, okay, it would feel so good to me if those clothes were just like put away. And then they're fucking put away.
I love that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like a magic. It's magic, dude. It's magic.
What other magic tricks do you know? Any other that like come off the top of your head?
With a man?
What about like more about the feminine energy or body language?
Well, like you were saying in your therapist's office, like Rory Ray talks about like the dance, and it's more just like you don't have, when there's silence between you, like on a new date or whatever, if you're in a car, like you don't have to fill the air. Like you just let it be quiet, let it be, you don't have to say anything, let him say it. And like when you feel something, like when you drop into what you're physically feeling, like, you're like, you feeling something in your stomach, you just kind of like move, or you can just look in your purse, like you're in your body and in your feelings, and like really like when you are like moving and like not saying anything, but you're just like feeling your own feelings, it's like it's like crack for them.
I was watching one of the videos that you sent me when one of the girl with the long hair, like the pretty girl
Yeah.
on her couch,
Yeah.
was talking about that, and she was like, it was something like a 5-minute video to like bring him to you, and it was basically just saying like sit back, you know, make sure that you like look pretty, and then it's like yeah, and just not having to say anything and just being in like a receptive mode, and like if there's wind, just like feel the wind. If there's like a breeze, if there's like a smell, like, get in touch with like the smell, and like it's hard for me to like be like one of those people who's like la 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 like but you know, I'm like a talker, but like you know, it's I do like I can understand how that is like the more feminine, attractive way to just like for me it can be hard to sit into silence, but I do want to like challenge myself to like
that's why you have to do, I mean, me too, but that's why you have to do it. It's not like you have to just stop being a talker. It's just like, you know, chill
the fuck out.
Chill the fuck out and like be in your senses, you know, like smelling, feeling, like when they see you are just like in your own body, it's like so, and like you're not worried about it feeling awkward, or you're not worried about dead air. Like it's so attractive. It's so attractive, you know, because you're just like, they're just like, God, I want to be inside her, you know? So that's me. And like all this stuff, by the way, I have not mastered, you know what I mean? It's stuff that I'm constantly having to work on, you know, but I do really make it a point with the woulds and the coulds. That's a big one, I think. I think that's the main one. You know, it's like, they just need to always think that everything's their idea. Even though it's obviously not, you know?
Ever.
But like they need to think that like they're coming up with, they're saving you, you know?
I like that. And then you have a show at the Comedy Store, a monthly show,
right? Ride or Die.
Yeah, very fun stand-up show. Are you gonna do like Zoom shows, do you think, or just wait for them?
A couple people were like, are you gonna do it? And I was like, I watched a few of those and I was like, no, I'm not. I mean, obviously it sucks not being on stage. Obviously it sucks, but like the whole Zoom works well for this, you know, this is great, but like, dude, you can't, if you have everybody on unmute, it's just feedback, you know, but if you have them all on mute, you don't hear any laughter, and like, that's not fucking stand up, dude. You can't have the relationship, you know?
It's awkward. Yeah. There's like that misconnection kind of thing.
Yeah. So no, I'm just going to wait. I mean, because honestly, even when like, you know, Whitney Cummings and Crystalia and all them were doing it, like, it's still like, that was as good as it gets, right? Like, they're like the top comics. And even that was like, oh God, they're like going crazy.
Yeah. They're like, are we doing this? They're like,
yeah. So I feel like I'll just wait, you know, I'll just wait.
What kind of self-love stuff do you do for yourself, or like self-care? Or if you're having a bad day, like what's like something that you do for yourself?
Sheet masks, face masks. I love those. Working out is self-care. Because if I'm in a bad mood, I probably didn't work out. Like I was saying today, like I took Saturday, Sunday off because I'm not a monster. I'm not going to work out 7 days a week. But even just those 2 days, like whatever, my body, whatever, but my head is like not okay when I don't release that fucking, the endorphins. Like I'm just like kind of just like, I'm just more irritable, you know? So working out, sheet mask, what else do I do? Self-care. I don't know. I guess I just kind of give myself permission to like take it easy. Like if I want to rest, I'm like really into naps. And sleeping. I'm really into sleeping, you know? I feel like sleeping has a bad rap, you know, but like a nap can like fix your life.
Yeah, I've been waking up at 9 a.m. every day since this has been going on because there's like construction right next to our apartment, so it could be hard. But it's like, but so then I'm just like getting up every day, and I saw someone posted this thing that was like, I'm really like napping a lot during quarantine because I don't get to nap that much like in my regular life, and I'm worried that I can't. So like now is the time to catch up on that. And I was like, wow, that's such a good point. Like I want to start taking more naps. Like I'm exhausted. Like I've done a lot of things today. Like maybe I'll fucking nap after this. But I know what you mean about like the bad connotation with napping, and it's like, you know, you're like restoring yourself.
Yeah, and like, you know, I've tried to explain this to my boyfriend too, because he's like very opposite energy of me. Like he's just like, huh, like he has never taken a nap before in his life. Like if you tell him to relax, he'll get stressed, you know, like he's just like, you know, and I'm like, you know, you can actually be more productive if you are like chill about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like just because you're like working in bed or taking doesn't mean you're not doing stuff, you know? Because like then you're like, I am good for nothing. If I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm good for nothing. Like I am not one of those people that's
Me too.
I'm great on 4 hours. It's like, okay, great. Not me. I need 8 to 9 every night. I just do. Otherwise, my personality sucks.
If I don't get 8 hours, I feel like a crackhead and I can't function.
I know. And like even Abraham says, like if you're in a bad mood or something, and it's like, you know, the middle of the day, you could just fucking take a nap and start over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
Because you like,
says like it takes 17 seconds to restart your day or something.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm really like I'm in favor of naps. I think sleep fixes everything, honestly. And I don't know. I guess I just I think I just try not to be too hard on myself, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And if I feel like I need to like rest and like watch TV and not talk on the phone, not do anything, then like okay, who cares? You know, like I don't have like all these ideas of what we need to get done, what we it's like it's all like nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean anything, you know? Because like at the end of the day, well, look, like we all had ideas of what we'd be doing now, probably, and look, like we're all alive, but like, well, some of us aren't, R.I.P. But like, we're not being productive, but we're still producing, you
Mm-hmm.
know? We are still doing stuff. You're just not like in the rat race, you know? Like
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's being forced to like really just be who they are right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like except for stand-ups who can't be on stage, but like
But finding other ways to like be creative and like, you know, put or like even like, you know, I've been like journaling like a lot more and like kind of just like exploring like, oh my God, there's all these like birds that fly by and I'm so worried that one of them's gonna fly into the fucking apartments.
you've
Anyways,
been going on a lot of walks though. You've
yeah,
been going on
dude, yeah, I have to. You're so lucky that you live by the water too.
yeah.
But I
It's
like,
awesome.
yeah, I just like have to get out and like get that fresh air and like look around and like be in nature. Like it just makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what the beach to me is like. So we went, there's like bioluminescence in the water right now. There's
What is
like, it's algae or whatever. But so the waves are like neon blue. It's like fucking crazy. And so 2 nights ago
Oh, I heard
we
about
went
the
out.
neon blue ocean.
It is so cool. And Max was shrooming. And so we went out to the water and it's like, it was night, you know, it was like almost midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like sitting on the sand, watching the waves like be neon blue. And it's like, the ocean is so healing. It's crazy. Like,
I'm obsessed.
so I'm really grateful for that because I feel like whenever I need like a real reset, I can just honestly go outside and breathe in the ocean air. And that's like, it's
Yeah,
like
I
a
love that.
jolt, you know?
Yeah. Well, Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. And then shout out like your social, like where, you know, like show info, candle info, workout info, whatever you want to promote.
So you can find out all the information on my Instagram at Stasia Patwell. The Zoom link for the class is right in the bio. It's every day at noon Pacific time. And then Ride or Die will be back whenever the Comedy Stores open again. And if you want to buy a candle, you can just DM me and I'll make you a candle.
I love it. Thank you so much, and hope everyone's having a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Chels.
Bye. Thank you.